What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Matt Greer Music Channel, a channel devoted to making music with electronic gizmos. Like this, the Elektron Model Samples. Now, I have had this for, I guess about a week and a half now, and I thought it might be fun to sort of overview some of my first impressions with this device, kind of tell you what I've thought so far. Now, this is one of the newer products from Elektron. I guess it came out the beginning of 2019, so it's not brand new. It's about a year and a half old now. Elektron usually will update a product for 5 to 6 years before they move on, so I'm hoping we'll continue to see some new updates for this. If you don't know already, it is a sample sequencer. You cannot sample audio into this device. It doesn't even have the inputs for it, but you can load samples onto it. So first off, let me say that I kind of spoiled myself a little bit because I got this first, the Model Cycles, which is the FM-based synth sequencer. Now you can tell they're basically identical in build, and I have to believe that you can probably, through some hack or something, flash the firmware from one to the other. I'm not suggesting you do that. Some of you all might remember the debacle that happened when the Electribe 2 people brought out a hacked firmware where you could turn it into the sampler and vice versa. Anyway, I'll just move on. But anyway, Model Samples, this plays samples and you can sequence them. You get the very powerful sequencer that Elektron's known for. Admittedly, when I first got this, I was kind of meh. I thought it was cool, but I just wasn't really very inspired by it. Again, I had this first and I really took to this device. Even though I have a digatone back here, I still liked the Cycles. I just thought it had its own feel, its own sound. It brought something new to the table. This to me just seemed kind of like very surface level. But I pushed myself to go and find some new samples for it, and that has opened it up immensely. I'm not dissing on Splice or Elektron for the factory samples. It's a pretty good broad range of mostly percussive sounds, and they're nice samples, they're quality, but for me personally, it just wasn't doing it for me. They were all kind of what I would consider safe. What I've been looking for lately are like textures and things that are percussive but aren't necessarily from a drum kit or sample set, like, you know, a door slamming or a train rolling by and the rattle that it creates. So I've really been interested in finding unusual textures. So what I did is I went on, sometime back I got the whole Samples from Mars library when it was on sale for like 30 bucks. I think a bunch of people did that. Anyway, long story short, I now have this expansive library of sounds on here, and I went and found a bunch of those abstract kind of sounds, and it's completely changed my mind about this machine now. So it really is only as good, in my opinion, as the sounds you put on it. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Is, yeah, at first it didn't really wow me, but I went and took the time, and it was some time, to go and find some good new samples. Well, good for me, I'll put it that way. I needed sounds that spoke to me as a musician. Now, the sounds I chose may not be for you at all, but if you're finding yourself kind of feeling limited, spend some time, find some new samples, create your own, do whatever you got to do, but make this thing your own, and you might be really surprised by the inspiration you get from it after that. So that's all I really want to talk about today. First impressions, and I've got a new jam that I want to share with you using all these new curated samples that I put on here. Again, I went for like kind of abstract things. This piece of music ended up being really dark, so I kind of put together a music video to sort of go with that dark feel that it has. So yeah, let's go ahead and kick off the music. Again, as always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below. And if you want to see another video on something, always feel free to make suggestions. I do take those into account when I decide to make a new video. So that's it. Elektron Model Samples. Let's hear some music.